I mean, we have talked about Harrison Barnes here over these last couple of weeks. Him and Chris Paul, as the season has come to an end, they've been the leaders all year. They've played in all 80 games tonight. But, I mean, Harrison just took it up to another level tonight. Got comfortable in that corner early, was 6 of 9 from downtown in this one. Also added 4 rebounds and a couple of assists. But, I mean, his tenacity for just continuing to pound the rock, for continuing to lead this young group to multiple comebacks within the game itself. Even just go back to last Friday against Cleveland when the Spurs were down double digits late in the fourth quarter and had a chance to win the game. This one's got to feel good for Harrison. Coming back to a place where he was beloved by Steve Kerr, won a championship, and may have sent Golden State to a devastating loss when it comes to their potential playoff future, potentially in the play-in tournament after that buzzer beater tonight. The game winner and the celebration that followed afterwards. Spurs win it in stunning fashion, 114-111. We continue Spurs Live here on Ken's 5.
Welcome back to the Chase Center where the Spurs beat the Warriors 114-111 at the buzzer, thanks to the former Warrior Harrison Barnes. What a moment that was. Jacob Toby alongside Sean Elliott here on Ken's 5. You just can't help but not smile for the guy, right? I mean, yeah, unbelievable.
It's really redemption for him. It's
yes.
a cathartic shot because, like Dan said, he had his chance last week against Cleveland. That was a really good attempt, a really good effort. You're not going to make all those, obviously, but he comes back and he shot that one with a ton of confidence. You get guys in that situation, they short-arm the shot, they shoot it way over the rim because they can't control their nerves in that situation. And Harrison Barnes, calm and cool, collected, drains it big time. That was, I mean, obviously to me, I feel like it's the biggest win of the year. Yeah. You're going up against a Golden State team that's played extremely well with Jimmy Butler in the lineup, and they're fighting for playoff position. They're trying to win every single game with a playoff lineup out there, and Harrison Barnes puts a dagger in them. Now, and what Dan said is exactly right, too. Now you're in a position where it's almost like Devontae Graham's shot last year that upended the Denver Nuggets, really dropped them down the standings when they would have had home court advantage. Now let's see what happens with the Golden State Warriors going forward.
It was a wild game. Let's take a look at how the scoring broke down throughout each quarter. And the Warriors outscoring the Spurs in the first. Then the Spurs got them back in the second. Warriors outscored them by 16 in the third. And then look at the Spurs, 38-23 in the fourth quarter, coming up when it matters most.
Hey, it wasn't just Harrison Barnes. Now, obviously, he hits the game winner, and he's on fire from beyond the arc. But Keldon Johnson was terrific in the fourth quarter. Steph Castle was terrific in the fourth quarter. So, like I said, coming down the stretch, Chris Paul was not on the floor. You allowed the young guy, Steph Castle, to drive the car. Remember what Mitch Johnson said earlier this year. We got to let him crash the car every once in a while. No, he navigated this game brilliantly, did a phenomenal job finding Keldon, finding guys on the perimeter. I mean, he ended up with 5 assists, and going into that fourth quarter, I want to say he maybe had 1. Probably could have had a whole lot more if guys had actually made some shots because he made a lot of great passes tonight. But what a great job by our young guys, showing a lot of poise down the stretch.
Castle didn't even need the GPS on that last play, right?
No, he didn't.
No crashing the car.
Not at all. Didn't need a smartphone at all. Hey, just give the ball to Harrison and everybody get out of the way.
That's exactly what happened. Harrison Barnes hitting 6 threes today on his way to 20 points. That's it for us. Dan Weiss has more after the break here on Ken's 5.
114-111 as the Spurs pull off a shocker here tonight in Golden State, knocking off the Warriors on the Harrison Barnes game winner. Dan Weiss back with you courtside here at the Chase Center. And Mitch Johnson asked about the moment the Spurs pull it out here tonight.
The start of the game was 11-0. Third quarter, we knew they were going to raise the pressure and the intensity. It's what they're good at, and it's the type of caliber team they are, and just really proud of the guys that we just didn't really blink, and we just never really let it get too far away from us. You know, got to 8, got to 10, got to maybe 12, but it was always in striking distance, and we just kind of fought and clawed our way back into it. And that's a very satisfying game to coach those guys.
If you look at it even from the bird's eye view, like
satisfying indeed for the Spurs. And as Sean said, maybe the win of the season, especially considering what was at stake for the Warriors here tonight. 114-111. We'll take another break. We'll come back and wrap it up here on Ken's 5 when we return to San Francisco right after this. 114-111 is the final tonight in Golden State as the Spurs pocket the win. Spurs head into Phoenix to close out the road portion of the 24-25 season. That game will tip right here on Ken's 5 beginning at 9 p.m. tonight. Harrison Barnes, the hero, 20 points, 21 from Steph Castle, 21 for KJ off the bench. Huge Spurs win for Jacob Toby, Sean Elliott, our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss saying so long. We'll talk to you Friday night from the Valley of the Sun. Have a great night, everybody.